here with the AC Valley girls basketball team. We'll do some introductions. We'll start on the far side across from me. We have Olivia Books, Allison Sherman, Emma Fox, Kylie Eaton, Annie Vertel, and next to me is Ellie Thompson. Ladies, what a fantastic season you guys had. At what point in your basketball careers did you guys realize that you had a chance to be a pretty good basketball team?
I would say around 7th grade, because that's when we really started playing with each other in junior high. Then we all had a connection really, and then really took off from there.
Last year, you guys sort of came onto the scene. I thought 2 years ago, or I guess now looking at it, 3 seasons ago, as sophomores, some of you as freshmen, that was kind of where you guys sort of started to make some noise, but you were playing in a really, really strong K-Sac South that year. Let's start there. Just playing against all of those players like Brooke Hinderleiter and some of the people at Keystone and Karn City and so forth, did that make you guys better?
Yeah, it definitely made us better. Playing against tougher competition definitely helps, and it's an honor to play against some of the girls who are playing like at Slippery Rock University, for instance.
And then last year, you guys really took a step up. When did you guys realize that maybe, hey, after that sophomore year for some of you, freshman year for some of you, that you really had a chance to be special last year?
I think it was just the year before we knew we had gotten that far, so we knew that we had chemistry already. So just knocking down shots and being able to know what we're doing with each other helped a lot.
Getting to the state playoffs 2 seasons ago, what did that mean to you guys?
I mean, I think that was the first time for us in school history again. And I mean, it didn't really turn out the way we wanted that year, but I think we learned a lot from that game, and it obviously showed this year.
A game that really maybe put you guys on the map was the win over North Clarion. When Olivia hits the free throws at the end of the game. I remember talking to you after the game, and you were like, I'm not really all that nervous. As you look back at it, were you really not all that nervous?
Oh, I was so nervous. I was shaking.
Obviously, when you win a game like that, it kind of like, I think, probably lifts the confidence level, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then, going into this season, maybe the script flipped a little bit. You guys were considered part of the group of favorites, and that was probably a first for AC Valley for you guys. Going into the year, how did you guys handle maybe some higher expectations?
Well, Coach Sherman always said not to really look past anyone and just focus on the now, and I think we knew what we should do, but we just never really thought about it, and we just took it game by game and had a goal, but we just took it as it came, and then we had success with that.
What Ellie said too, I don't think that my dad or Coach Meals' expectations have ever changed for us. Like, pretty much all they've always expected of us is to go out and play hard and play the best basketball that we can, and I think no matter how our season has ended or what kind of season we've had, for as long as I know that the seniors in this class have been playing, I think that's what's always remained consistent.
Coach Sherman and Coach Meals always told us not to set expectations but to set goals.
So what were some of the goals that you guys set this year?
Probably for Ellie to get her 1,000 points and beat that record.
Yeah, I mean,
the K-Sac
game,
definitely.
We always wanted to make it back to the D9.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe District 9 didn't go quite the way you guys wanted it, but you guys responded really well to that, I thought, with the win in the PAAA playoffs. What was the message after losing such a tough game? Because, that game could have gone either way, as you know.
Yeah. Just to come back and say that we're not about to dwell on this loss. We're just going to keep trucking, and put our nose to the grindstones.
And then getting that win in the PAAA playoffs, how special was that?
It was really special.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Really made up for the tough losses that we had before.
Yeah.
You guys had a loss in the middle of the season with Olivia going down with the season-ending injury. Talk about the emotion of losing a player like Olivia, and then how you guys responded to it.
I remember that game, and you never want that to happen to one of your best players, and we all realized that we had to step up, and we all had some big shoes to fill, and because Liv, she was averaging so many points and and doing it most of it for us. So we all just step up in our positions and then go from there.
Olivia, from your perspective, now you're not able to play, and I know how devastating that can be. From a mental aspect, what did you feel like you had to do for your teammates?
I just had to be there and support them through everything and always cheer them on.
Ladies, how'd she do with that?
Amazing
job.
She came to every single practice still and worked on getting herself better and back to, I don't know, just back to being able to play next year, because that's all you could do, and you were super supportive through all of it, and we really appreciate it.
As you look at this season, for some of you, your careers, what were some of the memories that stand out the most for you?
I would say the KSAC, going 1 KSAC South against Garden City, when Brooke made the game-winning shot, that stands out to me.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite game of the season.
That game was kind of a microcosm. You guys had a habit of getting down and then rallying. You did that here against Garden City only to lose in overtime, and then you did it against them again down there. What was the mentality of being able to kind of put that aside and rally and win?
I mean, with us, we've always had that where, yeah, we go down. I mean, it's obvious we've had many games like that, but we've played with each other so long, and we're all mature, and mentally strong, and we've been in these situations so many times that we just know how to get ourselves out of the hole we've dug ourselves.
I remember the District 9 title game and sitting next to another reporter, and you guys were like down, I don't know, 15 or 16 in the first half, and he's like, this game's over. And I'm looking at him like, you haven't seen AC Valley play this year if you think this game's over.
It's been a lot of close games.
We're definitely a third quarter team.
Ellie, for you, obviously finishing as the all-time leading scorer in AC Valley history, what does that mean to you?
It really means everything to me. I never really thought I'd get to this point, and I couldn't have done it without these guys here.
What was it like playing with her?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I've known Ellie obviously my whole life, so for me it was just a proud moment because I've known how much she's loved basketball forever, so for me it was just really exciting.
It's like comforting knowing that she's out there on floor, because you can give her the ball and she's going to work through it all.
The thing that, and you could say this about a few of the best players in the KSAC this year, you guys were all so unselfish. Talk about, where that team mentality came from.
I think we've all been that way. We don't really care who does it, just someone needs to do it. So, if you're open, you're going to get the ball. We don't really have one person that forces anything, really.
Coach Sherman talks about the legacy that you guys could leave in terms of AC Valley basketball. Do you ever think about that? I know when you're 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, that's kind of hard to sometimes think about. But you think about maybe looking at what maybe the junior high players are maybe seeing what you guys are doing, or even the elementary school kids, and saying, hey, look, maybe AC Valley basketball is here to stay, as opposed to maybe just a run of a good group of players.
Yeah, I definitely hope our legacy stays, but at the same time, I want it to be broken, and I want our program to succeed and do so much better than we did.
I think all of us, too, have actually thought about what we're going to leave behind for the program, too, because all of us have worked with our elementary girls program in the past, and a few of us are still continuing to go every Saturday and help them through games and stuff. And I can remember when we were that age looking up to some of the older players who came and helped then, like Megan Craddy and Meredith Snyder and Liv's older sister Kelsey, and I just thought they were so cool, and I wanted to be like them when I got in high school. So I hope that we can have that effect on some of the girls that are going through the program now.
I'm glad you brought that up, Allie, because that was actually something I was going to ask about, the things that you guys do with some of the younger girls and why you feel they're so important.
Well, I know we've all gotten a letter already about, from a little girl saying that she's looked up to us, and she, kind of said individual things about each one of us that she wants to have, so she can build all of that into her. That's good, and that just leaves a good mark for her to encourage her teammates and to keep the legacy going, I suppose.
Speaking of that legacy, some of you are coming back next year. Olivia's going to be healthy. Hopefully, well, come on, we're going to be positive about this, right? But you guys also lose some stuff. How do you view going into next season? Do you view it as an opportunity to continue what you guys have built on, those of you returning?
Yeah, I mean, the younger girls are going to have to step up, and we're going to have to step up even more to fill these senior shoes.
Kylie, do you see you taking more of a prominent role inside? Not that you didn't have a key role this year, but with Ellie gone, you're going to have to step up a little bit.
I mean, I would like to, but I know that I have, like, Andrea Meals is stepping up next year. She's a good player, and we have a strong core of girls that are coming up. So I know that I will have to play a better game than I did this year, but that will come with, like, my maturity and stuff.
Have you guys thought about any goals for next year yet?
Win the KSAC.
I think the goals are the same as they were this year.
Yeah.
You guys can do it.
You definitely can.
Yeah.
Your 8th grade year in junior high, you guys went undefeated.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
So I think it's doable.
When you think back to some of the off-court memories, what are some of the things that you guys cherish the most?
Definitely Coach Meals. Anything with that man is my favorite.
Yeah.
Just laughing together mostly. Jokes. We all had little
Yeah.
jokes and things, or if Mr. Sherman repeated something a million times about a memory or something, we'd all laugh.
He repeats himself a lot.
Those of us as reporters see that. Sorry, Dave, but he likes to say, that he was just trying not to get in the way. When you look at everything, are these some of your best high school memories?
Definitely.
When you look at that and think about maybe 20 years from now as you come back for a high school reunion, what are some of the things you think you guys will talk about?
I mean, definitely our sports. I mean, we've all been so successful in everything we've done, and there's so many memories that we could talk about.
Or hey, remember that time we got interviewed 10th period?
Yeah.
Well, the one thing about the internet, hopefully, is it'll be there forever for us to go back and watch.
Maybe we can watch it at that
Just some of the success that you guys had in other sports, whether it be volleyball or track or golf, how did that play a role into maybe having success in basketball as well?
I think every sport, no matter what it is, helps with the other sports. So the more active you are, the more it helps with every sport you play.
And I think because all of us have been involved in multiple sports this year and previous years that have been successful, is once you have that success in one sport, you have a little more motivation kind of to carry it on into another sport. And in golf, I know we won the district, so basketball comes around, we're like, okay, well, let's get to the district championship this time.
When you think about the season, a couple of things, in the postseason stick out. The Otto Eldred game. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. You had the harder road to the championship game than North Clarion. Obviously, I think they would have bid the same thing at the end of the day. You're going up, you're playing an Otto team. It's an Otto team that you guys, a lot of those players who were both volleyball players had lost to. How special was it beating them?
It was really nice. If I'm being honest, it was nice because it was on the St. Mary's court too, where we happened to lose the volleyball game.
There's nothing wrong with that. When you look at that game and you know that they had great players like Allie Cousins and Cameron Thomas, what did you guys feel like you needed to do in order to win?
Jump.
Know where they are at all times, because Cousins could shoot, but Thomas was great in the paint, so we counted on our bigs to guard them and our quicker girls to guard Allie. So
when you block the shot late and then end up with a breakaway layup to kind of seal the game, what's going through everybody's mind at that point?
I mean, I definitely thought I was going to maybe foul. Then once I got all ball, I was like, thank God. And then it was kind of scramble mode there, and then we ended up getting that last basket and just kind of sealed the deal there.
And then against Sewickley Academy, I mean, you guys could have, really fallen in a hole after losing that 6-point lead late. But what's the message going to overtime?
We still have time. 4 more minutes.
we
We're a
need to make
comeback
it.
team,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
You guys probably didn't know what to do up 6, right?
Yeah, really. You're like, oh, this.
It's not close enough for us.
How important was it getting that lead in overtime?
Very.
Yeah.
Made you feel comfortable playing.
Yeah, we got-
definitely.
I
We had control that whole time, so
yeah,
it's nice.
once I think it was Cammie made the
Mhm.
first couple of foul shots, we kind of got on a roll and they had to start fouling and we were making them, so that kind of just, I think, eased our nerves a little and made us realize that, okay, as long as we can keep this lead, we can win this.
Going into the game against Kennedy Catholic, I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's Kennedy Catholic, they don't have a shot. What was the mentality you guys, though, had?
Why not us?
Yeah.
And then you're tied at halftime, and I'm sure it's just doubling down on why not us at that point,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, obviously it didn't turn out the way you'd have liked it, but really up until the end, I'm sure you felt you really had a shot at winning that game. Again, we talk about you guys being a comeback team and all of that, so even down 4 or 5 with 2 or 3 minutes to go, you're probably thinking, hey, we're okay, right?
Yeah.
I kept thinking we've been down
Yeah.
more than this. We can get back. We're still in this.
Em, I want to talk a little bit about you because you're kind of a role player on this team, but there were some games where you hit some big shots. Just talk about accepting what your role was.
I, from a young age, knew that I was not very good at offense. I knew that I was on there to play defense, and that's really what I enjoyed to do. So hitting those shots was just, it was surprising, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. But it definitely felt good to get us back in the game and get us rolling again.
Annie, when Olivia went down, a lot more fell on you and Cammie. Cammie McNanny is not able to be here. Brooke Irwin's not able to be here, but a lot fell on the three of you. Did you feel any extra pressure after Olivia went down?
Definitely, because personally, I think she's one of the best ball handlers in the league by far, but I knew I needed to step up for them, and I think they had confidence in me, and we had confidence in each other that anyone could really bring it up. So it was definitely a little bit pressuring, but it's just something that had to be done, and you want to make your team proud, so.
One of the things that impressed me the most about you guys was after Olivia went down, everybody's point totals went up. I don't even know if you realize that, but everybody's point totals on this team increased after from the first 12 games to the last 13, 14, whatever it was games. You guys all increased your point totals. Was that subconscious? Was that just everybody knowing they had to pick up a little bit? Was there ever any talk about it?
No talk.
We
never
never talked. I think it just kind of happened. We all
Yeah.
knew, obviously, that we had to step it up, and
But yeah, that definitely subconsciously
Yeah.
happened, 'cause I
Yeah.
didn't realize till you said it.
Yeah.
But
Big shoes to fill.
yeah, definitely. So I think we all kind of had that going in the back of our mind, and maybe that just translated into how we were playing.
Olivia, what did it mean to you to see your teammates all kind of step up like that?
I was so proud of them all.
The musical breakdown
Wouldn't you on anyone else?
Wednesday at 3:30.
I love doing these in schools because we always get some announcements and
Yeah.
stuff like that in the middle of it. It's not so bad here. There was one, I think it might have been at North Clarion last year. I'm in the middle of doing theirs, and we get these announcements coming down, and I don't remember if it was Cassie Wagner looked at me and was like, I thought maybe I would warn you, but I decided not to. So. But ladies, is there anything else you'd like to talk about the season? Maybe something that you know that maybe I don't know because you're on the front lines and I'm not?
I mean, I think it's all pretty much out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just proud of how far we came
Yeah.
for such a small school, and to be able to play big teams like that. Just proud of everybody.
And rightfully so. I mean, it was a fantastic year for you guys. One that people here in the Foxburg, St. Petersburg, Emlenton area probably are going to talk about for a long time. I know it's one that I'll talk about for a long time as a reporter, because anytime you do that first, and in your case, winning that first PIAA game, those are teams that stick out in people's minds, I think, and memories at the end of the day. So congratulations to all of you, and thanks for taking a few minutes today to sit down here with us and talk about your season. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you.